Let's go, baby. Hit the ground running, Jay.
That's right. We'll be hearing from our NFL insider, Mike Garafolo, who never mails it in, although we do.
Yes, we
on
do.
our final show of the week. It was the Thursday nighter. Heck, it was on Thursday.
That's right, Dan.
I hate cliches, but this was one of those something had to give games. Jameis Winston, 12 straight losses on the road. Cam Newton, 7 straight losses, period.
Make it or break it years for both of these guys, it seems, especially Winston. Only 12% of teams that started a season 0-2 since 1990 have made the playoffs. Only 12%. So this is actually a very important game for these teams because they both lost their openers. During their Week 1 loss to the Rams, Cam Newton didn't complete a pass of longer than 17 yards. Struggling with the deep ball?
You're only asking me because of my shoulder. How about this? You talk to the defensive coordinator for Tampa and don't think I can throw the ball over 20 yards and see how far that gets you.
Is Cam gonna fall asleep? Sleepy Cam? Down 3 first quarter, Cam. There's the deep ball, Curtis Samuel. 44 yards. Led to a field goal. Sleepy Cam no more. Tries to go deep for Samuel a second time. This one gets away from him. Panthers would later punt. They wouldn't score a touchdown in the first half. Jameis Winston. Dan mentioned it, a stretch of 12 straight losses away from Tampa Bay since 2016. Still tied. Winston, all kinds of time taken down. More than 6 seconds to find somebody couldn't get rid of the football. But he would bounce back later in the quarter. Winston looking for his favorite target, Mike Evans. Wow, Mike Evans is good. Hauls it in for a gain of 41. A few plays later, and by pays, I mean plays. Winston to Chris Goodwin in the end zone. That's a touchdown for your Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Buccaneers with a 1-point lead hanging into the half. Fourth quarter, now up 5. Backed up to their own 2. Winston gives it to Peyton Barber. Luke Kuechly had a line at the quarterback, and he's going to take down the runner for the safety. The Panthers D coming up huge. The D would keep pounding Winston. Next drive, Winston swarmed by 3 Panther D linemen, taken down for the sack. 2 plays after that, Winston again with time, again unable to find an open receiver. Again, he had 6 seconds to get rid of the football. Panthers D coming up big, keeping it close. Under 7 to play now, Winston facing 3rd and 8. This time gets rid of it, and that's to Goodwin for a huge first down. Led to a field goal, and that pushed the Tampa lead to 6. We take you to the very end of the football game, the TSN turning point, minute 28 on the clock. Christian McCaffrey takes the direct snap, 4th and 1, forced out of bounds, not able to pick up the first down. They looked at it for a long time, and I mean a long time.
No, not at all.
But in the end, it was the Bucs who got the victory over the Panthers. The stats between these two former first overall picks. Newton, by the way, has lost 8 straight starts now. That is the longest drought of his career. And Winston does get the win for the first time in his last 13 road games as Carolina starts 0-2 for the first time since 2013.
I have good news and bad news, and you always take the bad news first. The Toronto Blue Jays are 39 games out of first in the AL East, the furthest they've been out of first since 1979. The good news? The Toronto Blue Jays only have 16 games left in their season. Taking on the Red Sox, Jays left fielder Derek Fisher, the former LA Laker, had an interesting game. 4th inning, Jackie Bradley Jr. skies one out to him. In left, Fisher took an odd route. Can't come up with it. Clay Buchholz is pitching for the Jays, and he just wants some help. 7th inning, Mookie Betts fly ball to left. Fisher, okay. He initially had it, it came loose. So Mookie Betts has a base hit. He eventually scored. Top 9, Betts back at the dish. Base hit into left. And Fisher, this is
to left field.
That is not good.
And this one will
Bounces all the way to the wall. Fisher has to stand and watch as Randall Gridget goes and gets it. Here's the good news. Only charged with one error in this game. The Red Sox win it.
Mets rookie Pete Alonso will not be fined by Major League Baseball for buying all of the commemorative cleats that his teammates wore to honor the 9/11 victims during Wednesday's game against Arizona. It seems obvious, but he didn't ask baseball's permission to do it. He also didn't ask baseball's permission to shave his mustache during Thursday's game against the Diamondbacks, but he did that too after he went 0 for 3 to start the game. So it wasn't the best game for Pete Alonso, but it was a terrific game for Juan Lagares.
And Lagares rockets one out to left field. Back goes Rojas at the wall. It's out of here! First career grand slam for Juan Lagares.
Out of here! Lagares had 2 of the Mets' 6 home runs on the day. Yeah, Marcus Stroman hasn't been great since being traded to the Mets. Former Jay sporting an ERA over 5 and 7 starts, getting help here from J.D. Davis. Nice running catch on the Gerard Dyson liner. Then in the 5th, Stroman gets Domingo Leyba, and fans can tell Marte. Stroman allowed just 1 run over 6 and a third. He struck out 6, and he gets the victory, as do the Mets.
Back in the second
Ronald Acuna Jr. sitting on 38 home runs, 34 stolen bases. Only 4 players in league history of 40 home runs and 40 stolen bases in a season. Acuna Jr. in the first, steals second, 35th stolen base of the year. He's just 21 himself. Youngest player with 35 home runs, 35 stolen bases in a season. 21 years old. 2 pitches later. By the way, Alex Anthopoulos got him signed to a very sweet, team-friendly deal at the beginning of the season. Acuna steals 3rd, so that's 36 home runs. That leads the National League. 2 home runs, 4 steals shy of 40-40. 7th, after failing to reach base in his last 2 at-bats, Acuna Jr., full count, takes this one out of the park. So that's his team-leading 39th. So that's 39 home runs, 36 stolen bases. You know he's going to get there. And in the end, his Braves lost 9-5. Supposed to be such a superstar. Brewers, Marlins, Orlando Arcia back in the lineup after the birth of his twin daughters Sunday. Arcia actually watched the Brewers on TV while in the delivery room, which I don't recommend if you are a new dad. Christian Yelich out for the year with a fractured kneecap. Ryan Braun is wearing his jersey under his own jersey. Says he's trying to bring the good vibes. And he does here in the 3rd with his 19th. I hope that Christian Yelich washed that jersey. Get used to seeing Braun in 2 jerseys.
Can't change it now, you know. I think when we're winning, you know, we're all at least a little bit superstitious. So yesterday was maybe the worst offensive game of the season for me, but we won. So as long as we're winning, I'm not changing. I know he's watching. So, you know, we all got to pick up the slack.
I think it's okay if you play for the Brewers. If you aren't even a fan of the Brewers and you're watching a Brewers game in the delivery room, then you got a problem.
That's a very good point by Dan. The Nationals, meanwhile, lead the Brewers and the Cubs by 3.5 games for that top National League wildcard spot. Yes, the Brewers and Cubbies in a deadlock for that second and final National League wildcard spot. Still to come on SportsCenter with Shane Dan, presented by Tim Hortons. Kyle Dubas addresses the Marner situation as camp opens for the Buds. That's next. You're watching TSN, Canada Sports Leading.
Alphabetically, I guess this would be the first matchup in the majors, Astros and A's. Justin Verlander has enjoyed pitching in September as an Astro. Career 10-0, 12 starts, ERA under 1. Top 3, Matt Olson. Oh, man.
Deep to right field, and that
I think he tickled the roof. 32nd of the season, extending the A's lead. Matt Olson has 32. Verlander retired the last 11 consecutive batters he faced, but in line for the loss. Top 8. Jose Altuve.
47th game.
Oh, that's going on the train tracks. Tying him for the Astros single season record for home runs by a second baseman with his 27th. In the 9th, Astros down to their final out. Runners on the corners for Michael Brantley. That's Liam Hendricks. Hendricks against Brantley. Give it to Hendricks, 99-mile-an-hour heater. Verlander suffers his first loss in the month of September as an Astro.
As Oakland now jumps into the American League wild card lead, albeit by just a half a game. And this is so close. This is going down to the wire for sure. Friday, Cleveland hosts Mini. Oakland heads to Texas. And the Rays square off against the Halo. Yeah, man, there's so many home runs. It's you almost become numb to them after a while. It's like, if you don't have 30 home runs, is there something wrong with you?
But it's not just like small, like these are moonshots. Home runs I've never seen before.
And players who have no business having the home run totals they have. By the way, danforprimeminister.ca. That's a website we have secured. And very excited for you to be our new prime minister. It seems like you're getting an unfair amount of television time here. Because you have a show with your name on it.
Because, yeah, if you are running for prime minister, you can't have a TV show, so I think I'm automatically eliminated.
We'll see. We'll see what the people say.
Okay.
I say write in Dan on your ballots. The Jets have signed defenseman Josh Morrissey to an 8-year, $50 million extension. It's an average annual salary of $6.25 million through the 2027 season. He still has 1 year left on the 2-year bridge deal he signed last season, where he put up a career-high 25 assists and 31 points in 59 games. Morrissey wanted a long-term deal, and he got it from the Jets.
That's not very positive.
That's a bummer, but you feel like you're going to get those deals done. But the Morrissey deal is so key because the Jets lose Trouba, they lose Tyler Myers, they lose Ben Sherratt, they lose half of their defense core from last season. So to lock up Morrissey for 8 years, I know Jets fans are really happy about that.
And Morrissey now one of 6 players on the Jets signed through the 23-24 season.
Now, Morrissey, we've heard a lot about him and his pending deal. This is a name that I didn't realize this guy was going to make $6 million.
That's RFA defenseman Ivan Provorov. He and the Flyers have agreed to a 6-year extension. The deal is reportedly worth around $6.75 million per season. Provorov has 7 goals and 19 assists in 82 games last year, and I am almost certain that I did a lot of highlights of games last year. I don't think he was in a single highlight pack.
Though he has never missed a game since he made his NHL debut in 2016.
Perfect attendance.
7th overall pick back in 2015. That's a lot of money. The Maple Leafs have opened training camp trying to get Mitch Marner to put pen to paper on a new deal, and he took questions about the Marner situation Thursday, but he says going forward, the organization will be radio silent until the matter is resolved. The second-year GM is hopeful it won't be a repeat of last season with William Nylander.
The potential of an offer sheet has been there since July. You know, I think there's, you know, as few offer sheets have there been fewer in season. I think there's been 1 in season. With William, there was some heated times as well, but you know, that relationship is excellent, and I have faith that, as with all of these things, once it comes to a solution, that you know, we'll have to have a probably very blunt discussion about things, and then we'll carry on. There's going to be no grudges from our end whatsoever.
Hey, the rest of Canada, you sick of the Mariners yet?
Oh, get ready for it.
Antonio Brown, he had a new number in practice Thursday. NFL receivers cannot wear the number 1 in games like he wore at Wednesday's workout. The NFL Network is reporting that, quote, barring something unforeseen, Brown will play in Miami on Sunday. With ongoing sexual assault investigation, he could be placed on the commissioner's exempt list. After practice, he visited Tom Brady's TB12 facility.
In the time of crisis, all I ask is love, dedication, and focus. Stay focused. The devil gonna try to bring you down when you get closer to your goals. The key is, don't let him. Now I was thinking about it. All the basketball players in the world, all the soccer players in the world, they get love and embrace. Maybe we need a football USA team so the world can love us. Because all we get is hate. Call God. I'm gone.
Why not just hold the camera in one place?
Tom Brady spent the whole time just trying not to be in the shot.
ESPN says that players are not obligated to notify a team about a pending civil case before signing free agent contract. So he wasn't obligated to tell the Pats that before he signed the deal. Brown is expected to meet with the league at some point regarding the lawsuit filed in Florida court on Wednesday. Odell Beckham Jr. Had some strong words about current Jets defensive coordinator Greg Williams ahead of the Jets-Browns game on Monday night. Beckham Jr. injured on a low hit against Cleveland during the 2017 preseason, and Williams was the Browns' defensive coordinator at the time.
I mean, you know, I had players on this team telling me that that's what he was telling them to do, take me out of the game, and it's preseason. So you just know who he is. Just the man. That's the man. I mean, if I was a coach, I would never teach what he teaches, but that's just him and what he does. So there's no real getting under my skin anymore. It's something that I'll never forget. It's something that it changed my life forever. So I don't necessarily regret it. Of course, I wish it didn't happen, but it did. So yeah, that led to the ankle for sure.
Williams always looks like he's in disguise.
These are serious accusations.
Yeah.
And it still blows my mind that Williams is allowed to coach.
He was only suspended 1 season for the Bountygate scandal, where he paid bonuses for hard hits and players injuring other players.
Yeah, it blows my mind that, that he still gets hired as a defensive coordinator.
Jets QB Sam Darnold has been ruled out indefinitely after being diagnosed with mono. New York's going to go with backup Trevor Siemian, who, when they take on the Browns on Monday night, head coach Adam Gase thinks they could be without Darnold for multiple weeks while he recovers.
Mike Garafolo.
NFL Network star reporter Mike Garafolo.
There's a nicer guy on the planet than our NFL insider Mike Garafolo.
There's Mike chasing the stories. Mike, the New York Jets, they blow a 16-point lead to a division rival on Sunday. Now their quarterback has mono. It's the Jets, so I guess we should expect this?
You always do. You always expect the worst for the Jets, and Jets gonna jet. Same old Jets, whatever phrase you want to use. I mean, it is the kind of stuff that only seems to happen in Florham Park, New Jersey. Sam Darnold going to miss this week's game against the Cleveland Browns. He's going to miss more than that. He's going to be multiple games, clearly. The good news for the Jets, I guess, if there's a silver lining, is they have an early bye week. Usually that's a bad thing, but they're hopeful that that will give Darnold a chance to get back. Mono's a weird thing. I've talked to doctors about this all day long. It could be months before you're back to normal here. So this is definitely a situation that bears watching. I know we're making the jokes. It is a serious situation to watch for Sam Darnold. And you hope for his sake that it's not going to be a lost season for him where he's never going to be in top form. But it's certainly something that could linger for a while.
Well, and Odell Beckham Jr., he and the Browns are facing the Jets on Monday, as you know. And so ODB's got to... He's got to face another OBJ. I'll say ODB, not oh dirty bastard. It's OBJ. Mike, he's got to face another Greg Williams defense, and they've got a history. Will there be any, that past history have any effect on how that game is played on Monday?
Yeah, I would hope not. I mean, nobody wants to see any cheap hits, but Beckham on Thursday coming out and telling the media in Cleveland that the teammates in Cleveland now that weren't his teammates when he was with the Giants said that Williams told them to go and take a shot and knock him out of the game. Here's the problem. It was a preseason game. I mean, this is a serious charge that Beckham is levying on Greg Williams. Now, we asked the league about this today. They had no response, not even a no comment. That tells you that that's something that they take seriously. So I would imagine they are going to check in here and see if there was anything to it, because this is a guy that was nailed in the past for the Bountygate scandal when he was with the Saints for aiming to take players out of the game. It's a serious charge that Beckham has levied. What's the revenge that Greg Williams can have? Shut him out in the stat sheet. Don't try and take him out of the game. That would be too blatantly obvious at this point.
And the sexual assault allegations against Antonio Brown, those were made known on Tuesday. The league, why haven't they stepped in yet?
Because this goes back to the Ray Rice situation, and I was at that press conference when they talked about how they're going to put him on the commissioner's exempt list. They did the same thing with Adrian Peterson that year, and I asked this question of Roger Goodell. I said, this is a slippery slope, isn't it, when you start to put players on the exempt list anytime something pops up? What if it's just false accusations popping up? So this is still the fallout from that, and the league doesn't want to get to a situation where as soon as they have some kind of civil suit or some allegation, really that's not being investigated by law enforcement, to put a guy on a commissioner's exempt list and take him off the field. Now, they are going to speak to Brown's accuser, but it doesn't sound like that's going to happen before the weekend here. So every indication right now is that Antonio Brown's on track to play on Sunday for the Patriots. Beyond that, we shall see how it develops once they start to gather more information, the league, that is.
That is our star NFL reporter, Mike Garafolo.
Thank you, guys.
When we come back, it's a very judgmental edition of the Jannies. That's right. It's Jannies featuring nothing but Judge Judy clips. Jannies! Hey, what's going on here? We're back in summertime? I guess the weather was a bit better on Thursday, at least in Toronto. Aaron Judge, great catch at the Myers.
Made some hard contact.
From that same game, this was probably in the first game because the weather was nicer. They played a doubleheader. Aaron Judge gets a foul ball. Whoa! Oh, there's netting there. Yeah. That's why he did it, I think. He knew the netting was there.
You know, now with the
no, he didn't?
I don't think he did.
Huh.
But, I mean...
Now chased by Astudillo.
Producer Tim got in my ear. He said, no.
The intentions were good.
You don't know what's going on in Aaron Judge's head?
I'll tell you what's going on Willians Astudillo's head. Nothing. He took his hat off to make that catch. And he looks like a young Bartolo Colon.
Dansby Swanson.
Rifles it
liner
Hazley comes on and makes
to left.
He'll throw back to second.
Adam Hazley dives to make the catch.
Love those Phillies throwbacks. Comerica, DJ LeMahieu.
Oh, I said this would be in the Janny.
Robbing Miguel Cabrera. And Miggy just laughs about it.
Corey Seager, fly ball to left. This is another great name in baseball. Anthony Santander.
Santander sounds like a month that didn't fit onto the calendar.
It's a different
John Birdie at the dish, up the middle. Orlando Arcia, whose wife just gave birth to twin girls on Sunday. Back in the lineup, helping the Brew Crew chase down the National League wild card.
I didn't know they had TVs in the delivery room because he was watching it during the delivery.
Yeah, I can't remember. It's all a blur. Hey guys, we're back. Great show tonight. We're really doing good. NHL training camps are underway for a complete wrap. It's a new segment, Gone Camping!
Gone Camping.
In Edmonton, the biggest question heading into the season, the status of Connor McDavid's knee. New head coach Dave Tippett says he'll come up with a plan for the captain.
I feel like I haven't really held back at all. I mean, I've been out there for scrimmages and stuff like that, and got bumped and been in battles and stuff like that. So I'm not nervous about it, but ultimately, you got to listen to the doctors.
Ken and I are going to meet this afternoon with the doctors. We're going to be very conservative with them. It's the doctors will give us go ahead.
The Oilers, of course, facing plenty of questions about what was a truly horrible year last year. Zach Cassian made it clear whose responsibility it was.
We all have something to prove, everybody, and the guys that had great seasons one year doesn't make a season, and guys that had off years, we have a chance to be better. I think all around as a team, no one should be walking around like the don't stink. It's we haven't accomplished what we've wanted, and we've kind of let ourselves down and the team and the city down. So we're coming in here and we're ready to compete. And like I said, we want to make the playoffs this year, and it starts tomorrow.
Okay.
They definitely want to make the playoffs. They've missed the playoffs 12 of the last 13 seasons, which seems like something that would be difficult to do even if you tried to do that.
That's right. It's like when you play some of those casino games and if you get all the things wrong, you win. It made more sense in my head. The Oilers, hey, they revealed their alternate jerseys they're going to wear this season.
Oh, this is cool.
We're going to take a peek at the new threads in the latest edition of Spurs Clothes.
Man, what do you
There they
think of
are.
these?
They're described as fusing sport and culture. The special edition jerseys feature modern and futuristic design elements that create a clean, sleek, and bold new look. Your thoughts?
They look like Chicago Bears jerseys.
Yeah, they kind of do.
I like them. They look great. I'm a fan. Producer Tim is also a fan, meaning this is the first thing that producer Tim and I have agreed on.
That's been Sports Clothes. Being a reporter, hey, you know it's tough. It only gets tougher in the summer heat.
But the heat didn't stop these journalists from getting their perfect sound bites, as you'll see in Summer Scrum Lurkers.
Hey, man, they were who we thought they were. Y'all can crown them if you want to crown them.
Ever.
That's been summer.
Is that Brian Hastings who put that together?
Scrum Lurkers.
One of our star employees, Brian Hastings. Man, that guy. He's
guy-
like the Ron Hainsey of SportsCenter with Jay and
Before
Dan.
the show, I was out going out to my car. He came out of the woods.
Brian Hastings lives in the forest near our studios here in Scarborough. Then he comes out of the forest and he cuts beautiful pieces like that for us. So thank you, Brian. Great job. Hey, still to come. This is actually your script. I'm sorry about that.
And we're to the top 10.
Just got so excited about that Scrum Lurkers.
Oh, we're counting down the best plays from last season.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Hey, you should listen to the Jay and Dan podcast this weekend while you're cleaning out the garage, maybe tuning up the snowmobile.
And don't forget, next Friday and Saturday, the 20th and 21st, we'll be in Victoria and Vancouver, respectively, for the Jay and Dan podcast tour. And there's still time to grab some tickets to that.
That sounds like fun.
It's the worst play of the day.
Foul ball.
Foul ball near Aaron Judge. I understand why you thought maybe...
Did you see Aaron Judge?
Oh, see, he looks up. He's like, I see. Yeah, because a lot of teams, that's going to be the standard in baseball next season. The netting to go all the way down.
Yeah,
to
all the way around. It's a good move.
Yes. Highlight of the night. Oh, we've seen this a few times. Willians Astudillo.
Changed by Astudillo.
Usually a catcher, so he takes off his hat.
I love this guy.
Because catchers, you throw your helmet and your mask and everything off to catch foul balls. That's what he did when he was playing third.
He had his hat in his hand the whole time he was running down the...
Astudillo.
Yeah, he looks like Cologne.
He does.
Man, he's a great guy. I messed up. During the Bucks-Panthers pack, I called Tampa receiver Chris Goodwin. Now, you struggled with the phrase Thursday nighter during the Tim Hortons drive-thru, and during the Jannies, you called Orioles outfielder Anthony Santander. I always thought it was Santander. Santander. And
tomato.
During the Oilers missing the playoffs discussion, you made a confusing comparison about casino games.
So there's a game in which it's like Keno, I think, where you can bet that you get no numbers. But it's almost impossible. So you were saying it's almost impossible to miss the playoffs that many times.
Right.
So now does it make sense?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Keno. A game that all the millennials are playing. I think I should go right hard into Keno.
It's pretty boring.
Just get into it. Why not?
Boring.
So long. Have a great weekend. What do you want? Grant!
Oh, maybe.
Yeah, big time. Okay, absolutely. Here we go.
Producer Tim, please. We're trying to voice something.
I'm hearing something, Tim. Or sorry, hang on a sec. You know what? I'm not plugged in.
Oh, yeah. Big time. Big time. Big time, baby. Capital B, big time. Capital T, time. Big time. I don't know what the heck's going on here.
Or the Doyers could take care of business themselves. Could take care.
of business themselves.